Good evening, folks. I'm your host, Christina Atienza. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Pop Culture Junkies. For those of you who aren't familiar, Carmilla is originally an 18th century novella based on a vampire who's even older than Dracula himself. In 2014, the story saw a new life through the magical world of YouTube. Tonight, I'm joined by guests Katie Brunwasser and Nick Negron to talk about the web series we know and love. We even got some help from producer Stephanie Aknin to help give some more insight from the cast and crew of Carmilla about the web series. And if you haven't already watched Carmilla, be warned. Slight fangirling, spoilers, and speculation ahead. Before we get started, we gotta talk about the history of the web series, starting with the novella. The novella follows the story of young Laura Hollis, who lives with her father in Austria. And along the way, they run into the mysterious Carmilla Karnstein with her mother, who gets left behind as her mother tends to some important business far away. The story follows Laura as she gets to know this mysterious stranger who happens to be a vampire and tries to unfold the mystery behind a vampire and the suddenly ill and dying girls. Fast forward to 2014, where we find Laura Hollis sitting in Silas University as she tries to figure out the story through her vlog of why her roommate has gone missing, why girls are going missing every 20 years, and what is the deal with her roommate, Carmilla Karnstein, who, again, is a vampire, but she figures that out about halfway through. Now, what's the difference between the web series and the novella? Steph Aknin puts it this way. The web series is a contested history, continuing the feminist legacy of Carmilla while subverting the elements we wanted to leave out. It's Night Vale meets Queer Buffy 2015, wrapped in a Lizzie Bennett Diaries tasting candy wrapper. It's subversive, female-led take on this Dracula predecessor, mixing a whole bunch of genres together. It's not a modernization per se, as the novella is Carmilla's contested canon past. We've pulled a lot from it, but also used it as a springboard to craft a Lovecraftian adventure shenanigans romp. Alright guys, so to start our discussion, let's talk about how we discovered the web series. So I discovered it back on Tumblr late last year in 2014 because it was all over my dashboard and I'm just like, you know what? I'm not doing anything after opening Christmas gifts. Why don't I just watch this YouTube series? Dedicated a few hours to it and just watched it and I have been hooked ever since. So, how did you guys start watching? Katie?
I saw it on my Tumblr dashboard a lot during my junior fall semester here at school, and I was really bored that semester. I wasn't really doing much, so I decided to watch it. I watched the first few episodes, and I wasn't really hooked on it until I got, farther in the season, but after that, I was really into it.
As for me, I wasn't so lucky to find it on my Tumblr dashboard. It was actually because of you two, actually the reason why I saw it, because I recognized Christina's 1698 hat, and I knew where it was from. I just never actually committed to watching the show. And you guys suggested, oh, why don't we just, watch the whole season? And I was like, okay, why not? And slowly spiraled into the world of Carmilla.
Now, a lot of things have happened in Carmilla, as we know. From season 1, where it was just missing roommates, dealing with the dean, and Laura's general obliviousness to, everything. And season 2, where we had the murders, Maddie, Vordenberg, and the never-ending chaos on campus. With the bonus of 0, which takes us back to 2012 in Silas. There's a lot of components that make this web series so great. What has been your favorite part about the web series? Nick, let's start with you this time.
Okay, well, I think what makes this web series so great, and it might be a cliche answer, but it's like the relationship between Laura and Carmilla. It's not a typical one that you see in a lot of romance movies and shows and whatnot, where it's like girl meets girl and falls madly in love, and they'll have little fights, but at the end they'll make up and be happy. I feel like it's a lot more real than most people portray it. Love sucks sometimes, and it's really hard to deal with, and I think that they captured, be they vampire, human or not, it really just captures how tricky and messy love can be.
I don't understand love, so I'm going to pass over that. I just thought it was just a fun, genuine fun story to listen to. There's action, there's a lot of storytelling, which I really like, and it's just it's entertaining, and I think that's what I find most in shows. It's just for that entertainment factor.
Kate, let's start with who your favorite character is.
That's my favorite character, is Laura. Specifically, I identify most with her, and she's just like genuinely good. Like all of her intentions are for the best. Like she doesn't really do anything intentionally wrong. Like, and if she does, like when she does, usually it's not because she means it. So, and that's very similar to me. So
My favorite character has to be Kirsch. I think we don't give him enough credit for how much development he's gone through. Like, sure, Laura, the show focuses on a lot about Laura and what she's going through, but like, Kirsch has gone through a huge like character change throughout just the 2 seasons. Like we see in season 1, he's this typical arrogant bro athlete who's just like so oblivious and says such the most misogynistic things to these people and not realize it. And where in season 2, yeah, he's still a bit doofy and he's still a bit arrogant, but he's starting to like become more, I don't know, human, a little bit more developed as a character. And I think that's a change that I really appreciate seeing throughout it. And then it's even more appreciated when we see in season 0 him back to that bro athlete. And
Now, my favorite character is Carmilla. Leather vest aside, because obviously those are cool, I just really like the aspect of a misunderstood character. It means so well that she has one-track mind. She has been surviving for 300 years. Like, we're barely struggling to get through the 20 years we've been on this planet. And then there's Carmilla, who's seen wars, who's seen cities build up and get broken down. She's seen so much, and she's just still trying to find that hope. And I think that's the one thing I really like about her persona overall, because honestly, Natasha nails it, that you can just see all the different emotions going through Carmilla's face at any given moment. Like the heartbreak during that episode in season 2 where they broke up, that moment where you saw that love, she realized the love was not being reciprocated, that was just tragic.
yeah.
Because she was just holding on to that idea of she found the light in her life, and then she lost it, and then she had her sister. As of right now, we all know that season 3 has not been confirmed, and season 3 would be the final season for the Carmilla series. Why do we want a season 3? Nick, let's start with you.
oh gosh, where do I begin? First of all, I would like to see what happened, spoilers as she already mentioned, what happened to Kirsch, because I want to know for sure. Like, I will not confirm it until I see it myself. I want to see more of the development of Carmilla and Laura now as this relationship goes on, as now as now Laura has done the unthinkable and killed a man just for Carmilla. You would never see her do that in season 1 in a million years, and we got to the end of season 2 just for her to finally start doing that.
You know this, but you might not know this. Laura backstory, okay? I need
Yes.
it. I need a Laura backstory. Why is she so bent on fixing everything? I mean, I can understand she feels like she's the blame for everything, but her dad had her in a hamster ball. Like, quite literally, I'm pretty sure that was like a literal line that they had in the first episode of the first season.
I questioned everything of what we've seen. Like that little bit with Dean Perry saying, you can tell the story a certain way, or something along those lines. So are we even seeing Laura's real stories? Like, there's so much we don't even know that Laura put up these videos to begin with.
She never turns her camera off. How much are we actually seeing?
This is also Silas, guys. Remember, there was a trapped demigod under their library. That's about all the time we have for tonight. I'd like to thank Katie and Nick again for joining us, for coming out tonight and talking about Carmilla. I'd also like to thank Emily and Steph from the Carmilla cast and crew to help us get this wonderful, wonderful video done. If you haven't already watched, please check out Carmilla on Verve Girl TV on YouTube. Watch season 0, watch season 1, watch season 2, watch all the bonus content. So I highly recommend, and I think Katie and Nick can agree with me, please watch season 0. Please try to save this series that we know and love for one final season so we can go and have that feeling like at the end of Harry Potter where we just knew all was well. For KCTV and Pop Culture Junkies, I'm Christina Atienza. Thanks for joining us and have a great evening, Cream Puffs.